He visited the Ravens last night. As of this morning, was still very much in the building. This after a visit late last week to Cleveland. The five-time Pro Bowl cut a week ago by the Buccaneers is the last, I want to say, big free agent piece, at least for that, potentially fall into place. Mark Ingram tweeted this at Gerald McCoy. There was also a GIF there of a little kid dancing. The GIF didn't make it on the screen. Is it a GIF or a GIF? Ian, is it a GIF or a GIF? Our NFL Network insider.
I always say GIF. GIF is really weird to say.
It sounds like it's on popcorn, which makes my boy popcorn anymore. Hi, Ian. With us now with Gerald McCoy news, which is his visit is over in Baltimore. What becomes of this get-together?
That's right. The visit started yesterday afternoon. That was slated really the whole time to last into this morning and probably end around noontime. Has essentially concluded. The pomp and circumstance, the meetings, the discussion with coaches, all of that is basically over. The Ravens have done the job they set out to do, which is sell him on the organization. Now, it is really about seeing whether or not the Ravens and McCoy's longtime agent, Ben Dargo, can do a deal. My understanding is that is what is the plan right now, is to talk to the agent and see if they can come up with a contract that makes sense. The Ravens absolutely want to sign McCoy. They had him visit with the intention of signing him, but this is also one of the more principled and disciplined organization when it comes to money. They're not going to do something that's out of their price range. Right now, it is the Ravens and the Ravens for Gerald McCoy's services. If the money is not, Andrew, like he wants, then don't be surprised if he takes a third visit. And the Carolina Panthers, who do have a need, a defensive tackle, have been lurking, they have been monitoring, they are interested in Gerald McCoy.
But they're not going to get him. The Carolina Panthers are not going to get Gerald McCoy. It's between the Ravens and the Browns. And come on, get Molly, go. Excuse me, let me let my dogs out real quick. Go ahead, Molly. Go on, Max. Go outside. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying about Gerald McCoy, and welcome to this episode of the Purple and Black. Big day today. Today is Gerald McCoy's second day of visiting with the Ravens, and I don't remember him spending 2 days in Cleveland. Do you? I don't. But I think the Cleveland trip, however, just as Ian just reported, that might be to drive the price of them up. So in this episode, I wanted to talk about a couple things. One, what we should offer McCoy and if he's worth the money or not. And two, the type of job and aggressiveness that Eric DeCosta's had since he's taken over. But we'll get with McCoy. So Gerald McCoy visited the Ravens yesterday and went through, met all the coaches, did all the meetings, did all the stuff, and we did all the selling, trying to sell them on the franchise. One cool thing, when they went to dinner last night, both safeties, Tony Jefferson and Eric Whittle, showed up. Thought that was really cool. I want to give a shout out to Tony Jefferson for stepping up as a leader since he's been here. He's done nothing but grow as a Raven, and I think he deserves another contract. Back to McCoy, they had dinner or whatever, and the Ravens are always very, very aggressive with their free agents when they come in. They always try to sign them when they're in-house. When Steve Smith came in, he had a trip set up for the Patriots. Boom, they signed him in-house. They didn't let him out of the building. Similar situation with Anquan Bolden, Elvis Dumerville, all those guys never got out of the building. We always, were real aggressive with them. Shout out to the fax machine on for the Denver Broncos. It's a side thing, but all my Elvis Dumerville guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to Gerald McCoy. So Gerald McCoy, I think what we should offer him is the same contract that the Bucs just gave Ndamukong Suh. They've basically had identical careers, identical production, and they're the exact same player. They were the second and the third pick in the 2010 draft. And I actually live here in Tampa. I've been following Gerald McCoy pretty much his entire career. I moved here in 2009 from Glen Burnie, Maryland. That's why I'm a huge Ravens fan. But I can tell you this, Gerald McCoy is a great defensive tackle, and he's a really good leader. He has no drama. He has no off-the-field issues. He's great in the community, and he can stop the run and rush the passer. I think he had 6.5 sacks last year. He's worth $8 million, $9 million. That's what Sue got. Offer him the exact same contract that Sue got. You say, well, Phil, how come that why didn't the Bucs just do that? Well, the Bucs cut him because they saved $3 million. All the Bucs did was make a lateral movement. They're okay, we got Ndamukong Suh, which we can sign for $9 million right here, and we got McCoy, who we're paying $13. Let's cut McCoy, hire Sue. Those are just numbers. We, the Ravens, need to do the same thing. We're going to stay right in the same line and offer him the same contract. Boom, done deal. Because I can tell you right now, Cleveland's got a lot of hype, but what's very appealing to him in the Ravens is a lot of selling points here. One, his defensive line coach he's familiar with. He was the same defensive line coach that he had in Tampa, I want to say in 15 and 14 or 15 and 16, something like that. Joe C. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but a really good defensive line coach, and McCoy really likes him. So he knows the structure, and he's got some familiarity there. And also, keep in mind, the Ravens probably have the best secondary in the league. Oh, no, they do. They definitely have the best secondary in the league because it's $68 million, I believe, we're spending on our secondary. 65, 68. It's definitely the most money in the league. And yes, we have some great players in our secondary, but my God, $68 million, Baltimore? That's appealing if I'm a defensive tackle trying to get more sacks and keeping my money going long term, as an NFL player. I read that on ESPN.com. Somebody said that about McCoy, why the Ravens were a better fit than the Browns, and that was one of the things they said in there, and I thought that was a really good point. Or maybe it was somebody on Twitter said that. I can't remember. I seen that somewhere today online. Anyway, that's the truth. You know what I mean? You come to the Ravens, we've got the best secondary in football. You got Marlon Humphrey, who's going to be pushing for the best corner in football, I believe, this year. He's really good. I mean, this is the year he was one of the best last year. He's trying to break out this year. You got Jimmy Smith, who's been a boss ever since he got here. And as long as he's not injured, he's a great corner. Brandon Carr. You got Tavon Young, probably the best slot corner in the league. Your safeties are Tony Jefferson and Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, big-time free agent. And how about Earl Thomas showing up to that dinner last night to talk to McCoy, and he hasn't even played a game yet for the Ravens. It's insane. Really, really cool. I don't know. My thought is we need to offer him the same contract and Ndamukong Suh got from the Bucs, and we just need to call it a day. So what if Cleveland offers him a little bit more? I think that's the number. I think the number's the same number. $9 million. I believe that's what he got. $9 million, maybe a little bit of an incentive there, or maybe we offer him a 2-year deal. But I think that's the way we go. You guys have any comments or anything you want to say? Go ahead and put them down there. I want to give a shout out to all the Ravens fans out there following me. I know I've only got like 5 or 6 followers, but it's cool that you guys are even listening because my opinion really isn't that great apparently. Because I'm not, on NFL Network or anything like that. But I can tell you this, I do follow the Ravens. I am always in tune. I got everybody on Twitter, and I'll give you some good updates. Oh, the second part. I was about to end the show, but the second part I got to do is talk about Eric DeCosta and the job he's been doing. Sorry, I let my dogs in. Eric DeCosta, since he's got in, has done a phenomenal job. Come on, guys. Has done a phenomenal job, in my opinion, because he's been so aggressive. I mean, look at since he's taken over. He goes into the draft, and he trades back a couple spots, risking losing the best receiver, and we need a receiver more than anything. He went after by far the best receiver as far as tape goes in Marquise Brown. I wanted DK Metcalf in my original videos, but Marquise Brown was the right pick, and it was the right pick because you can see how far DK slid after that. But moving up back in the third round to get Miles Boykin was a great move. He let Jalen Ferguson fall to him As soon as we lost, Suggs and Smith, and by the way, I never thought we were going to re-sign Smith. Smith was going to get big money. It was Purnell and McPhee all over again. Let him go get his big money, and we'll promote from within like we always do through the draft. DDI, draft, develop, invest. Shout out to Engraven. Yes, Zadarius Smith, big money. How much did he get? $66 million? Bye. And then CJ Mosley getting $17 million a year. Bye. Bye-bye. We got Kenny Young in the 4th round. He can step in. The difference between Kenny Young and CJ Mosley is not $17 million, guys. It's just not. And look, he goes out and he spends that money on Earl Thomas. Granted, we could have kept Eric Weddle, but Eric Weddle was starting to. The thing is, this past year, I love Eric Weddle. Great leader, smart, good football player. But we lacked the turnovers this year, and that's really his department. He was the guy that the year prior to that, we led the league in turnovers. In 2017, we led the league in turnovers, and Eric Weddle was a big part of that. But I felt like he's getting slower. He's kind of a liability in a lot of situations sometimes. But at the same time, he was a smart player, so he was good in our system because we put him into positions to succeed. But Earl Thomas is a baller. A flat-out baller. That was a huge upgrade, and you plug him into our secondary, which was already the best secondary in football. I mean, how you think Gerald McCoy is going to have a while to get a sack? He's going to be able to, 4 seconds he's going to have at least, probably, in most plays to be able to get a sack, and McCoy's a beast. So shout out to our general manager for doing such a good job at being aggressive in free agency, not offering too much, waiting until after the comp pick time, just like Ozzie always taught him. And I got to tell you, man, I'm loving the Eric DeCosta era. I really am. It's aggressiveness. Look at all the speed he put on our team. The Justice Hill pick in the 4th round. Miles Boykin running a 4.42 in the combine. Marquise Brown, they said he's the fastest guy in the draft this year. And we got him they just surrounded a track team around Lamar. Still got our good defensive player picks, like the Jalen Ferguson pick. That's a classic Ozzie Newsome pick. He got another Oklahoma lineman late in the draft, Ben Powers, a good, classy Ozzie Newsome pick. Like, God, DeCosta, I feel like, has just got his hands in everything, and he's doing a great job with everything. So I'm really happy to even seeing that we even have an opportunity to sign McCoy. If we don't sign McCoy, we still got Brandon Williams, and we still got Michael Pierce, and we still got a lot of good young defensive tackles that we drafted. We're ready to go. It's cool to see them, go after it a little bit. And, why not now? Why not us? And yeah, we're the better choice than Cleveland. We're the AFC North champs. It's us. When's the last time Cleveland's seen a Super Bowl? When? When's the last time they made the playoffs? I seen a stat the other day. Cleveland's been over, it was days since the last playoff game. Number 1 was the Detroit Lions were number 2, and Cleveland was number 3. Number 1 was the Cincinnati Bengals at 10,000 something. But they were at like 9,000 something days since they seen a playoff game. We're at a playoff win, excuse me. We're at 1,600 as a Ravens fan. We're at 1,600 something days since we've seen a playoff win. We need to see the playoff win this year. And Eric DeCosta knows that. I think Eric DeCosta knows the day. If you asked him right now, he could tell you how many days since he's seen the last playoff win. That's what I think about Eric DeCosta. So, great job. So that's going to conclude today's show for the Purple and Black. I know it was a little rowdy today. I have my dogs. I'm doing stuff. I'm always in a rush. But I wanted to give us an update. If we do end up signing McCoy, you might see a follow-up video. But I usually only do a video a month. So we'll see. But you may see more of me. We'll see. Purple and Black. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Love you guys. Peace.